Elaine Saxby.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Councils are indeed well placed to help communities get to net zero and need to lead from the front with political leadership and genuine, tangible change. Whilst recognising councils really do have real funding challenges at this time, the pandemic has taught us the importance of collaboration between local and national government. Climate plans in response to councils' declared climate emergencies are far too often just that, a plan. I wrote about councils' declarations of climate emergencies back in August 21, and not much has changed in far too many councils' responses since that time. The Cambridge Dictionary defines emergency as something dangerous or serious, such as an accident that happens suddenly or unexpectedly and needs fast action in order to avoid harmful results. Emergencies and crises, by their very names, invoke something of a helplessness in many, as it seems to be someone else's problem. But if we are to address climate change and achieve net zero, there is a need for everyone to feel they can take action now and not wait for another long-winded plan. Furthermore, our flag-waving Lib Dems, who have run North Devon District Council since May 2019, took a full 3 years to even produce a plan and continue to fail to reduce their own carbon emissions, energy consumption, incentivise electric cars, and to date have switched just one vehicle to electric, announced with much fanfare earlier this year in their press release, which stated, on Tuesday the 18th of April, North Devon Council took delivery of their first fully electric asset, making a significant step in their commitment to sustainability and reducing their carbon footprint. The new electric asset, Eco City Sweeper 2, will be used to keep the streets of North Devon clean and tidy. It is equipped with the latest electric technology and has a working time of 6 hours on a single charge. Whilst delighted it's arrived, I'm not sure it's going to make the largest reduction in emissions, given that it's replacing a man who didn't make many. I appreciate that our hard-working council officers have been very busy with the pandemic and the projects that have fallen out since, and the staff there really do a fantastic job. But you would hope that the lead councillor responsible for the environment could have seen a way to at least install some solar panels on the new council building or secure an electric bin lorry or two. Time is of the essence, and we need not reinvent the wheel. We should look where solutions currently exist and work to implement them. UK 100 brings together, as referenced by my honourable friend, the member for Bath, who I haven't thanked for securing today's excellent debate, thank you. But UK 100 brings together local authorities across the country to devise and, crucially, to implement plans for the transition to clean energy that are ambitious, cost-effective and garner support. I've spoken at their events and seen how effective their solutions would be. I'm a big supporter and would urge others to join. Their Knowledge Hub offers excellent ideas for how local leaders can work to hit net zero. Declaring a climate emergency suggests that it is someone else's problem. We need climate action, and we must work together in driving this action rather than producing endless plans. If councils need funding to deliver those plans, they need to speak with their MPs and government to detail how action will be taken. I live in a village full of tourists at this time of year, and yet it is still many, many miles to the nearest public electric charging point. The pace of change in Devon may be marginally quicker at a county council level, but we don't have many buses, so surely we are overdue at least a single electric or hydrogen-powered one. Of course.
I hope she will soon talk to the leader of her district council and get some answers. But the problem about electric charging is, of course, a central government problem and a centralized grid, and that the grid connections are so incredibly difficult to achieve. And that's the same for a local authority who wants to put in more electric charging points, as it is indeed for community energy projects. And we are sharing the concern about community energy projects. So the problem, does he not agree, is with the grid.
I thank the Honourable Lady for her intervention, and whilst I fully acknowledge some of the concerns around the grid, living where I do, I would acknowledge that that's not the reason that these charging points are not going in. I have parish councils that do not believe in electric vehicles, and that is holding back some of the rollout, to be completely frank. So I think there's a lot more that we could be doing to drive through some of this change. And I do fully recognise how much harder some of these challenges really are in a rural environment, having previously led debates in this place on decarbonising rural transport and levelling up rural Britain. But some councils are leading from the front, as UK 100 is testament to. I just wish that any of the rural councils in Devon were on that list. Indeed, I support the UK 100's power in place, and I very much hope that the Minister will have had a chance to look at some of their recommendations, and in particular looking at the more strategic, needs-based, long-term funding, particularly in a rural environment. This Conservative government is a world leader in fighting climate change, and we have introduced the legislative tools to enable and encourage individual leaders and businesses to take action. We as individuals, business leaders and as councillors need to get on and actually do what we can to make change, rather than producing endless plans and PowerPoint presentations that do not in themselves solve the problem. And my door is open to any of my councils who want my assistance in driving North Devon towards net zero.